Hey everyone, I'm Timmy Scott, and if you're new here, welcome. As you can tell by the title of this video, I want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and shunning. Now, as I've mentioned before, Jehovah's Witnesses, at least the followers anyway, think they're doing the right thing, but they're really not. Now, I did some research on emotional manipulation, and long story short for emotional manipulation is they leave people confused and stuff like that. You can look it up for yourself. Google it and it'll show it right up front on the computer or however you're looking it up. Anyway, when I've talked about changing my belief system, I now see that, again, Jehovah's Witnesses like to steal from other religions and blend it into their own and confuse, and again, this is where the emotional manipulation part comes into play. They confuse their followers constantly, and they're not allowed to have any thinking other than their own. And that's the negative light of emotional manipulation. Anyway, when I lived a sheltered life from that, I never, I guess, understood, like, a lot of things, I guess. I didn't understand at the time what shunning was and how it works. I didn't understand their mind control games they play. It's unfortunate that Jehovah's Witnesses, their followers at least anyway, think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. They're doing it in a negative light. They're being emotionally manipulated. They have so much excessive mind control that they can't get the concept that they are destroying their family. Anyway, like I said, I lived a pretty sheltered life from it. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do a lot of things that were fun in the outside world. Most of the time. 90% of the time anyway. You're not supposed to have fun outside of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's something I always tried to want to do. I wanted to try to be my own person. I didn't want to be a product of something I wasn't. I didn't want to be continuously emotionally manipulated in a negative way. There is really no good way to be emotionally manipulated, but whatever. Looking at it now, it makes a lot of sense. Paganism, Jehovah's Witnesses have paganism quite often in their belief teaching. When paganism doesn't even shun people. The only reason they say they're shunning people is because they're told to. They say they don't shun people, they play the victim and everything. But then when someone really is heavily a Jehovah's Witness and then decides they don't want to be one anymore, they shun them. I can't stress this enough, how much of a scam they are. They scam people, and they don't even realize it because of how excessively mind controlled they are. I'm glad I got away from that when I did, as I mentioned in previous videos about it. Pagans don't shun people. They only use that tactic to, again, get people sucked into believing that. It shouldn't be that way. If you say you're a good Christian and stuff like that, you shouldn't shun someone for the smallest sin they commit. That's emotional manipulation right there. Of shunning someone just because they committed the smallest of sin. But again, for those who watch this and don't know much about Jehovah's Witnesses, that's just a little bit of a rundown. I made previous videos of their belief system and stuff like that. I've made videos of how they act and the way they act and stuff like that. It sucks that to see they like to convince people they don't shun people when they really do. But again, that's their behavior and the way they're supposed to act and stuff like that. Anyway, I just wanted to leave a little insight for myself, or my experience, that the Jehovah's Witnesses are a scam. And I'm trying to get people to see that. Sometimes it can be really frustrating at times because they don't get that concept, unfortunately. When I first realized I was a pagan, sorry for a little bit of a pause. Anyway, when I first realized I was Wiccan, on the good side of Wiccan anyway, there is no shunning. There is literally no shunning. And that's what I like about being a Wiccan for myself. I don't want to become a product of something I'm not just because followers tell me how to live a certain life, become a certain way, and stuff like that. The do's and don'ts, not allowed to do this, can't do that, but you could be this for that, all that stuff. Pagans, or Wiccans anyway, which is paganism, don't shun people. And that's what I love about being a Wiccan. And I didn't realize I was a Wiccan until I had recently, realized it. I mean, after I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, I didn't realize I was so much into paganism that I enjoyed it. Anyway, like I said, the only reason Jehovah's Witnesses say they don't shun people is because that's what they're told. That's how they're told to try. That's their way of trying to convert people. That's just me anyway. I know a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses will say the same thing that are watching this. And then those who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses but know a lot about them enough to realize they are a scam, leave them in the comments. I want to know if you guys know that this is the right thing too, that they're a scam and all that stuff, which they are, but I just want to leave you guys' opinion. I had recently realized that they're just a scam, and I've made this in previous videos that they're just a scam. They don't really say who they are, because again, a lot of followers become a product of something they're not. And I just wanted to also leave an insight. Look up Charles T. Russell. He's the one who created Jehovah's Witnesses to begin with. He's the one that brought this religion to what it is today, unfortunately. The modern day Jehovah's Witnesses, anyway. Anyway, when I had seen pictures, like after I had left in a different way as an outsider, I can see it in his face and body language and everything in his eyes. There was nothing good about him. He had a lot of unfortunate evil intentions. And that's what Jehovah's Witnesses carry. And again, that's where the whole shunning comes into play. The only reason they act a certain way and stuff like that because they're emotionally manipulated. Again, you can Google emotional manipulation, and it's right there on the screen. And it's not in a good way either. That's just my theory anyway. I'll probably make another video, something similar to this. I didn't think that I would be making videos about what I grew up in, of a sheltered environment like that. I didn't think I'd be putting out videos like this. I enjoy it, at least for my personal relation anyway. I just wanted to share my experience to people who decide to watch this. I just want people to get what they're doing wrong and don't realize what they're doing wrong. I just wish I could shed some positive light on some Jehovah's Witnesses, what they're doing wrong, what they're doing to their families and stuff like that. Anyway, I know I'm going to have some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who do watch this. Comment on my channel. Feel free, for those who are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, or if you're not and you know about Jehovah's Witnesses, Again, leave them in the comments. It helps out a lot. Leave a like on this video. Share it around with your friends on social media. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.